Higher View Podcast, the podcast dedicated to the creative, the outside thinker, and the believer who are seeking community and healthy views on worldly topics. If this is your first time to the show, we want to welcome you. We hope you feel comfortable here. I also want to invite everybody watching or tuning in to follow, like, subscribe on any platform that you are listening. If you are listening and we are in your ears right now, hello. And if you can see us on YouTube, hello.
Hello.
I am here with my permanent co-host and wifey and partner in life, Alexis.
Hello.
Say hello to the people.
I just did.
There's the crowd cheering you on.
Thank you very much.
Well, we're glad to have you guys here. Thank you guys for tuning in so much. We are honored to be able to do this and just be able to speak to you guys and just be able to speak on a platform. It's awesome to do.
It's so much fun.
So grateful for this.
I seriously so enjoy it.
It's very cool. It is like people always ask like how the podcast is going, and I'm like, you know, it's a discipline to keep going, but it really is something I enjoy doing. It really, really is.
It's not like a drag or anything.
Yeah. Like we have to come up with stuff to talk about, but it's stuff that we enjoy talking about, which is awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
How's your day going?
It's pretty good. I'm still dealing with allergies, runny nose, like
Yeah, y'all say a prayer for him.
25/8. And
He's just sniffling every 30 seconds, and I'm like, is this a habit at this point, or is it actually running? Because it's becoming an annoyance in my ear.
She was getting upset with me yesterday. It's like, dude, I can't, I don't know.
I'm just like, bro, like, let's just spray this thing away. I told him to try it. Obviously, have you been keeping up with the elderberry extract and the local honey?
I've been taking it pretty often.
Okay, well, then we need to get a different
It's in
honey.
my body.
We need to get a different honey. Because when I was going through that, and if you guys are consistent listeners, you'll remember there was like 3 weeks in a row where I was just super stuffy. I was going through it. And then I did elderberry extract and then local honey. And I took it for 3 days straight, and it took it away. And I've not have dealt with that since then. So I think we need different honey.
We have local honey.
But it's from Houston, not from here.
But it's still from Texas.
Okay. It should work then.
I don't know. Hey, this is like the worst season of allergies I've ever experienced. I've never had allergies for this long.
Yeah.
Really don't even get allergies that bad in general, but
I really think it's the air quality. If we want to talk about that real quick, I feel like it's just becoming a normalized thing. Like, oh, we all got allergies. Like it's the air quality. Okay. The air quality in Texas sucks.
You're right.
I will just say that. That's the only thing. Because it's bad here. But
it is pretty bad.
Maybe we should just start praying over the weather.
It's just over when you live in a city, you live in so much like cars and pollution and buildings, people traveling everywhere. It's just you can't stop it.
Yeah, legit.
It's just where we live, and it is what it is right now.
It's okay.
We'll slowly die in peace.
No, so we gotta take the elderberry and local honey.
But
you're welcome. Sponsoring. No, I'm just joking.
Sponsoring. Maybe we can sponsor. Who would we sponsor for that?
I don't know.
Or who would sponsor us for that? You don't know?
No, I don't know.
Any company names? No. Well, we'll get a local honey on here eventually and help you guys out.
There you go.
How's your day going?
Oh, yeah. Excuse me.
I know you had a good workout. You still got the pre-workout running through your veins. Yeah,
I took a 250 milligram caffeine pre-workout.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay.
But if you think about it, we usually have Celsius and it's 200.
It's 200.
So I didn't think it would be that bad, and I still feel it. So my body is like, and I did a full body workout. I didn't just focus on one thing. I worked, it was really just legs and abs. I did that's pretty much, maybe a little bit of arms, but I'm just feeling the pre-workout still. Kind of has me a little like, not even jittery. It's not a jittery feeling. Like it's an inside jittery, not an outside jittery, if that makes sense.
I know exactly what you mean.
It's not like my hands are all jittery and stuff. It's like an inside jittery. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm having to breathe sometimes. I'm like, I don't like this.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I think that's the feeling that people go for when working out because you just don't feel like stopping.
Yeah.
Like your body. I remember when I worked out with Tristan one time and we took pre-workout and like some other supplements like combined, and I was working out. And I was doing workouts that I usually do. And eventually, like, I would get tired usually. But at this time, when we took pre-workout, it was like, dude, I can go forever. Like, it's not even burning. Like,
well, like, at that point, like, I mean, what am I saying right now? At that point, that didn't make any sense of what I'm about to say, but let me just back up. I also took Redwood, and I haven't been keeping up with Redwood, and I took it, and then I did pre-workout.
Dude, you're wired right now. Then.
So it's pretty... Redwood is like a blood flow supplement from Umzu that we absolutely love them. All natural, really good stuff.
Boost nitric oxide is what it boosts.
Yeah. So blood flow. I really hope I can sleep tonight.
Nah, you'll be fine. You'll be all right.
But yeah, I'm ready for this podcast. Let's go. Let's get it.
Well, she's ready.
About to run the marathon.
No doubt about that. But today we're going to be talking about, I don't really know the title yet, but it's going to have, it's on the basis of rest versus hustling. Because the reason I want to mention rest, the reason I want to bring up rest is because Easter was this past weekend, which when you guys are going to be hearing this, it's either going to be Saturday when we release it after Easter or whenever you listen to it after that. But Easter just happened. And so there's Good Friday. And, you know, it's kind of like a holiday. Some people let off work for Good Friday. It's the day Jesus was technically crucified, or the day that it resembles he was crucified. And then there's Saturday. And then after Saturday, there's Sunday, which is Easter, because he rose from the grave. But Saturday, I've never thought about this. It was never like an occurrence to me. It was always Good Friday, then Easter. And Saturday was kind of just like a blur to me all the time. But this Saturday, I was thinking, like, this is actually a rest day. Like, there was nothing that needed to happen in the Bible. Like, people were, like, in the Bible, it's a whole story. I'm not going to go into the whole story. But the whole idea of it was Jesus just rested because there was nothing else to do. So technically, in simple terms, he was dead on Saturday, resting. And he just rested. And there was nothing else, no works for him to do, nothing else for him to fulfill. So it really stood out, because if the person that we are supposed to model, the person that we're supposed to follow can rest like that, then we should make that a priority in our lives as well. And especially like talking about like the Sabbath, like in the Christian world, the Sabbath is always, you know, like we need to take our Sabbath, it's either Sunday, we need to take our chill day. We're going to go home, maybe cook out, have, you know, just a chill time, watch movies and relax. It's very easy to mistake a Sabbath day as relaxing day, which is not that at all. And I know there's a scripture, and I think it's Romans 4, in chapter 4. It talks about how Sabbath is actually a relationship. So the way that we get fulfilled is not by actually doing nothing. It's actually by having the relationship. That's what actually fills us up. And it's easy to mix that with distraction. Mm-hmm. You know, I want to have a chill day, so I'm going to sit my butt in front of TV and sleep or watch TV all day, and that's my rest day.
It doesn't feel fulfilling when we do that. Mm-mm. Because it would be like after church and anyways, continue.
Oh yeah, you're on the right track. Like, it's not fulfilling. That's not what fulfills us. Like,
and there's nothing wrong with watching TV, but when it becomes like we feel like we need to do that all day long. Like we were also at church because we are really involved, and we'll be there from like really early to, you know, all services, and then we're like really tired. Mm-hmm. But I think the healthy thing is like, okay, if we're really tired, we need to come home and just maybe take a nap for a little bit. Maybe if we want to sit and watch a show for a little bit, and then let's go for let's do something that's filling us. Like, let's go on a walk. Let's like what fills us individually to do.
Well, it also goes with like, everybody's going to be different with this. Yeah. Because not everybody's going to want to come home and nap. Not everyone's going to want to come home and just relax and chill or watch TV. Like, it really has to go with knowing your footing, knowing how you were designed and created, like what interests you, what fulfills you. You know, it could be like drawing fulfills you, writing fulfills you, or reading fulfills you. Like, that could be part of your Sabbath. That could be something that you do to fulfill you that would keep you going. Like, kind of just like a decompression thing. Mm-hmm. So it really just depends. You know, everybody's different.
To like, when you say that, it reminds me like when I am drawing, when I am doing something creative, I am getting filled up. Same. Because I'm putting that energy out, and I'm like getting the energy back. Mm-hmm. And when we think like, oh, that's going to be really, really draining to like do that, it's not, because I'm creating something, and creating something gets me going. Mm-hmm. And I'm definitely glad we're having this conversation because it, I feel like I was in that place, the other side of it, where I thought our Sabbath, our resting time needed to be only sleeping or sitting and watching a movie until we have to go back to sleep. Like, or just absolutely do nothing. I'm like, I'm doing absolutely nothing at all. I'm just going to sit here. But when I look back at that, I don't ever feel fulfilled or energized or ready to go out. If anything, I feel more lethargic and more just like, like there's just like,
I can't believe I just did that.
I'm like, dang. And I think there needs to be a healthy balance. Like, okay, like let's watch one show or 2 episodes. Like, let's binge today a few episodes, but like, let's not end our night like this. Like, let's read at the end. Let's go do something, and that will fulfill us again.
Taking a Sabbath also goes with hustling as well, because you have to hustle in order to have a Sabbath. You have to hustle and be doing things in order to need fulfillment. And if you're not doing anything, then there's nothing to fulfill. So it goes with like the other topic that we're talking about. Like, we are also designed to hustle. We're also designed to design or create. And it's in our DNA. Like, it's in our blood. It's it's just part of us to do things. Like, if we sit around and do things, jinx. Pinch puck in the coat.
No, I don't like that.
If we sit around and don't do things, like, we can very easily feel meaningless. We can very easily fall into depression, because that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be creating things. We're supposed to be out in the world. We're supposed to be walking the earth, tending the earth. We're the salt of the earth. The Bible tells us we're the salt of the earth. We're here to preserve. We're here to do things, so if we aren't doing anything, there's no point to take a Sabbath. And if you are, you have your hustle, you have your things that you do, you have your schedule all lined out, and you know the things that you need to do every day, every week, every month, whatever, like however you schedule, then it's very important for you to take that Sabbath. It's very important for you to find what that Sabbath can be for you. Yeah.
I was studying a little bit of this, and it was like, they put it like this, like the frantic hustle, that's like the unhealthy hustle. And that, like, there's so much freedom, and that healed my heart. Like, it just healed my mind in that area to hear that's a thing, a frantic hustle. And like, I know what that feels like, because that's what I get. And I will literally admit, like, I will be in the car, and it's hard for me to sometimes, if I'm not listening to a podcast or anything, and like my mind's going and absorbing something, and I'm just sitting at the light, and there might be like instrumental music on, I always feel the need to pull out my phone. And that's frantic.
Yeah, I could to me probably attest to that too. Like, it's just kind of like almost a habit. Like, you just need to let me check.
Yeah, and it's like, I realized that today. I was like, you know what? Leaving my phone in the purse. I got my instrumental music on, and I'm taking this time to not be connected to the world. Like, I'm taking this drive to just be. And I listened to Battle Ready, the podcast Battle Ready, and they're saying how Erwin, if I don't say his name right, please correct me. Erwin. He says, like, he tries to give himself permission to go ghost for like an hour to 3 hours a day of not talking to anybody, because he is such like a motivate, like go getter, like ambition mindset, like hustler, and he's such a good person to learn from when it comes to healthy hustle, because I think this world, like this culture, has so much unhealthy hustle, and we need to like rewire our brains what healthy hustle looks like. So he's a really good pastor to just listen to in that area. And he was saying, like, he tries to give himself permission sometimes to go ghost for a few hours, and it made me laugh so hard, because his family was like, he's like, I can't even go ghost for like an hour, and I turn off my phone and everybody freaks out, and like I turn it back on and people are like, are you okay? Like, da 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 da. And his son was like, because Battle Ready is between him and his son Aaron. Yeah. And they're just so funny. I freaking love them. But I would love to meet them one day. Like, they're so cool. But he was like, I would really appreciate if you just put a ghost emoji in a group chat, in the family group chat.
just to give us a heads up.
Just put the ghost emoji, because he's such a go-getter person that when he's ghosting, everybody's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? But I just can relate to that. Like, giving permission to, if you haven't listened to Daily Retreat yet, that's one of our episodes. I think it goes well with what we're talking about, but it's not exactly this. It's not the same thing at all.
It can be part of it though.
It can be part of it. What I'm saying is the Daily Retreat moment. Like he's giving himself the 3 hour, an hour to 3 hours of ghosting, not talking to anybody, just like going off the grid. The Daily Retreat, we were talking about that, but kind of like branching it off throughout the day. And I kind of like it in that way, to be honest, like giving it a full like hour or something with, instead of trying to break it off throughout the day. Like that's really cool too, because when you're on the go and you're hustling and having ambition and then you feel like, oh, I need to stop. Like, anyways, I'm just finding a lot of healing in this area and it's very nice.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like the Sabbath part. You know, like I think we need to erase the understanding of what a Sabbath is. Like if you're listening to this, completely wipe what you think a Sabbath is. Because a Sabbath is not what we have been, I guess, trained to do or trained up into, because it's more than just finding time to rest. It's getting fulfilled and finding that hour to 3 hours, like you said, hour to 3 hours of just doing something that actually you enjoy thoroughly, that is going to fulfill you more than any nap or TV show or rest can ever do. So that's what our Sabbath should be aimed towards. You know, like when we have like our rest day, when we have the day off that we do get either Saturday, Sunday, or if it's through the week, we should be figuring out like, okay, what is my Sabbath going to look like? What am I going to do to actually fulfill what I need to get fulfilled so I can keep going through the week and not feel like I'm drained, not feel like I'm pushing my dead weight around or any stuff like that. Like we have to have the rest in order to keep going like how we do. Because if we don't have rest, then we're going to burn out quicker than we think.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like whenever you aren't doing it in the right way, you do get lethargic and unmotivated, and I can definitely testify to that because
there's no fulfillment.
I mean, I will admit, like this season has been a little hard for me waking up in the mornings, and if you've been listening to us since the beginning, I've probably said this for a long time, guys, but I'm believing a turnaround in my life in this area. After studying this area, what we're talking about, rest and hustling, it's a very dangerous place to be in when you don't have any ambition, when you wake up and you don't have any motivation for life. Like that's not a good place to be in. It's like a depressing feeling. It's like you're trying to walk through this cloud and it's like, no, like you're here to do things. Like you're saying, like, we're here to be the salt on the earth. We're here to be the light on the earth. Like we're here to make a difference in the world. So I would love to wake up feeling so motivated and so thankful for another day and ready to go. And that's just not reality for me right now. And I'm really believing, and I'm speaking it over myself because we have power in our words on what we speak over ourselves, that as I'm studying this, I'm learning, and as I'm creating daily healthy habits of hustling, healthy rest, and what that looks like, that's going to fill me up where I'm not in a lethargic place. I'm in a motivation and ambition place, because when I wake up, I know that, oh my gosh, here I am, another day, like let's go. Like it's not a lethargic feeling, because that feeling is not fun at all to be in. That's not a good place to be in. If you can relate to me, there's nothing fulfilling in that aspect. Like, do you have any fulfilling feeling in that place of like lethargicness? Like there's just nothing.
Yeah.
That's feels good.
What would you say unhealthy hustle looks like?
I feel like unhealthy hustle is feeling like you always need to catch up with something. For example, we can use social media, for example, like, oh, I have to post something, or I have to see what the world's up to. I feel like that's a very frantic, just hustle feeling, like, oh, I need to look at this, I need to get this out, I need to get this out. I'm like I said, I'm still like learning what unhealthy hustling looks like. So I'm really thankful we're doing this episode so I can learn more as we talk this out. Because what about you? What do you think?
I think there is such a very bold line between hustling and not losing your sanity. Like people that build a business, me and you, I mean, we technically have our own businesses right now. There is people that can have a business for example, they get on their grind. I'm on my grind, bro. I can't go out. Like
Yeah.
I got other stuff to do. I'm taking care of business. You never see them. So that's a point where you're kind of just like you're talking about in a frantic mode, and that's that kind of hurry mentality. Like I need to go, running around with your head cut off like a chicken. Like
Yeah.
so. I think there's a very harsh line, bold and a harsh line between having that balance of getting things done and hustling and being on your grind, like we've talked about before, and still finding rest so you can keep that up consistently and not go at a high speed rate and then fall and then pick yourself up back again, pick yourself back up again, and then go, and then fall. At this point, we're going to be grinding. We're going to be on doing what we need to be doing. We're going to have our Sabbath. We're going to make sure that's a priority and get fulfilled. That way we keep going at a consistent rate.
It's good.
That way it's a constant rise. It's a constant rise. There is no ups and downs and ups
you're
and downs.
able to take on more and more and more.
Exactly. The more you do that, the more your palette is going to be expanded. You have a wider range of things that you can handle because you're always going to be fulfilled. You're always going to be ready,
Yeah.
So I think it's just find that balance, and I think if you're feeling that hurry mentality, then you really need to take a step back. You really need to slow down.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with feeling that. I think that's a good way of like realizing like, oh, I'm feeling this, and that means I need to realign myself and rearrange something
For
here.
sure. Yeah.
I don't think it's like a condemning feeling or a shame feeling you need to have over yourself. Like, oh, I'm feeling this. Dang it! Like I messed up. It's like no, like it's not a failure feeling. Don't let it turn into a failure feeling. Turn it into a learning feeling and a learning, and let it guide you whenever that does happen. You're like, okay, something's off right now. Like I need to fix something, or hey, I don't like the way I'm feeling this season. What can I change to get to that healthy place? I also feel like another unhealthy hustle is just like trying to do it on your own. Straight up, like you're just trying to do things on your own, and I like how, like I didn't know this like until when we were studying this. I've heard it before, but it's resonating differently. But that rest is not a thing. That rest is a relationship. Rest is a person.
Yeah.
Like rest is Jesus, and that's just so awesome when you grasp that, because it's like, wow, rest is Jesus. That means it's not a thing that I need to do. That means it's a relationship with him.
Yeah.
And as I'm going on with the things that he's gifted me to love and desire, like creating and doing art, he's there in the midst of it. And it's like, it's just this joyful thing to do.
Yeah.
I think that's a healthy rest right there.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't really like tie that in together earlier when I said that Sabbath is a relationship. It's a relationship with Jesus. Like that's what fulfills you. That's how you get fulfilled, is having that relationship, that direct line. Finding that, so to speak, rest is finding that relationship, finding that time, or the gift that you've been gifted with, what you love doing, what you absolutely are ambitious about. That's going to fulfill you. That's going to fulfill you. It's going to put you in the alignment of that relationship so you can be fulfilled. And like whether it be like a walk, like you said, your art, reading, like I
getting
love
some sunshine.
Getting some sunshine. I love designing things. Like I can like sculptures or like drawings or stuff like that. Like just designing. Like I just love creating stuff. I'm just a creative. What this podcast is dedicated to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another reason why we love this podcast, because we're creating right now. And that's why it's so fulfilling for us to do this. Like every time we end this podcast, every time we end an episode, we're like, dude, that was so good.
It's so good. Like literally so when we end this, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
We're just like, wow, we just went to another place. Because it is. And I learn as I speak. Like I'm just so thankful that the knowledge and the wisdom that comes through us, like I'm so thankful for that. And that is not, our own gifting. Like this was gifted to us to be able to speak like this. And we are here to do these kind of things. And I just know that if it helps me, it has to help somebody else.
Yeah.
And there's times where I'll go back and I'll listen to our podcast. Like I'll try to keep up with listening to them when they go out. And I'm just like, wow, like I really, I'm really learning right now, which is really cool.
Yeah. I've always been told from a young age, like from 12, 13. That's like as long as I can remember. Getting told like you are very mature and wise for your age. I've been told that a very long part of my life. So being told that is kind of planting seeds in my head. Like, okay, like maybe I do have like some kind of like wisdom or something like that. And growing up and being on my own now and getting married and all this stuff, just going through life, I realized like this is actually a gift on my life. And when I speak, I have wisdom to speak. When I go through things, I have wisdom to apply. So I know that those things are not just, when we talk about stuff like this, it's not stuff that we come up with. This isn't stuff that we've necessarily all learned. Like, yeah, there is some things that we took in ourselves, but God has gifted me with wisdom. So like when I am able to speak on this, when I'm able to use this gift in this gifting, when I'm in alignment with this gifting, then I'm technically in my Sabbath. This is what I love doing. This is my ambition. This is what I'm crazy about.
and what's so cool is that like the things we're speaking, it's not from our wisdom. It's not our wisdom. Like we have the things that we talk about. It's our testimony. It's our life that we're walking through, and it's biblical.
Yeah,
personal. Like it's personal and it's biblical, and that's what is so important, that we can back up what we're saying on the word. Like that's what you want when you're listening to certain things or listening to people. Like you want it to back up on truth. If it's just going off of their own opinions and thoughts, which is fine too. Like we have our opinions. We don't think we're always right. Like we're not like, oh, our opinions. It's not about the opinion. It's about certain things we do say has truth behind it when we bring the word in the middle of it. But yes, our podcast, it's us, it's our opinions, it's our thoughts, and we just hope that it can bless your life, and you can get uncomfortable and want to change things up, because it's not a good place just to stay the same forever. Like you're here to change, you're here to grow, you're here to get better. We're here on your side to help you along the way. So
yeah, I mean, this podcast is more of an encouragement than anything else. And like I said before, we're just some regular people with a camera, so don't get it twisted. But we're gonna close out this episode. This was an awesome episode.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Really enjoyed that.
We love you guys. Just the last encourager. Find out what you want to be your Sabbath. Find out what is going to be the most fulfilling thing for you for the Sabbath, because it's not just relaxing and doing nothing. That is not going to fulfill you. That is not going to get you to keep going. It's not going to fill up your tank. So find that out. It's going to be a challenge for you. Find out what you are wanting to do, what your body wants to do. Maybe it's taking a walk. Maybe it's going out in nature, whatever that may be. But we want to leave you guys with that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you made it to the end of this episode, there is a special place for you in heaven. And if you have the thought of sending this to somebody, please send it. 5-second rule. Send it right now. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all the love, all the support, and all the following. Yeah. We will see you guys next week. And until then, see things from a higher view. And we love you.
Love you guys.